Hey, I haven't posted a video in a moment. I said video, what the fuck? Video. I was trying to think about what I want to do, but, I mean, I do have things I'm trying to work on. Like, I'm trying to actually, like, clean my apartment up a little bit, and, like, there's, like, just a few things that are kind of, like, askew, out of place, or things I want to take care of, because I want to do a apartment tour video. I know I've told a couple people that this is work in progress. It is going to happen. I'm still not sure on the when, because I am working a lot of extra hours at my job right now because we're short-handed. Even if we get someone else, we're gonna get short-handed again, so because someone else is gonna leave. So I already know somebody else is leaving, so there's only gonna be more hours for me to, well, they're gonna have issues. That's all I'm saying. I'm working enough as is. So, yeah. I'm working a lot, and I'm trying to, like, I have video ideas I need to do, but I'm also, like, I have projects I need to, like, actually work on too. So I've just been failing at life. But this video, I realized I haven't really done an update on, like, the ketamine stuff in a while. Like, I did my video when I first started it. And I first started on January 23rd. And when I started, I was only on 10 milligrams. So here's the thing that most people wouldn't know about that is whenever you have a drug like that, there's a certain bioavailability. So, for some legal, it's 30%, which is, okay. Don't mind me. My allergies are getting a little weird because the weather keeps going back and forth. It's nice outside, but it was kind of hot a few days ago, which was strange. It was 80 degrees for the spring. That was nasty. Anyway. The ketamine. I'm on 50 now. But with 30% bioavailability, that only means my body gets 15 whenever I take it. You know, I don't think it's quite like the miracle or anything I was hoping for. I mean, I didn't have super high expectations just because I've had such bad luck with medication. I mean, if we want to include, like, study drugs, that I'm pretty sure I actually got the drug and not the placebo, because I'm pretty good at figuring that out. Oh, I've easily had over 20 meds. If we were gonna pop those out, then I'm like 18, 19 now. Yeah. So, the, ketamine. I would say there's pieces where it helps, but I'm at the point where I'm going to have to contact my doctor and see, this is the hard part. Like we have talked about, we're very limited in what we can do. And we kind of went through my list of things I've been on, and the only thing we kind of thought that we could maybe add on is Zoloft, but I haven't been on it in 10 years. I think when I was on it, though, I was on 150, and that's kind of high. I think standard's like 100, 50 to 100, but I'm pretty sure I was on 150, but I didn't want to ask him to double check that because it has been 10 years, so... I was on it for like 3 or 4 months if I remember correctly though. But I just remember it just like kind of that zombie-ish thing and like just kind of feeling like way out of it, and that was the part where I was just starting to like get depressed again, and it helped a little bit back then, but like my fear about going on stuff now or going back on stuff, because I've gone back on a few things and that were more recent things, I went back on and tried again, and I had worse side effects than the first time I was on them, so that's my fear. There's been a long window there, and my body is a mystery, and its ability to metabolize chemicals is a mystery. So that'll be interesting. But if I go on Zoloft, or if I add it on, because I'm going to stay on the ketamine And maybe go from 50 to 60. See, these are things I have to talk to my doctor about. Just to try to keep things stable, because there's been a lot of like shifts in mood, and like I've had some really extreme lows, and I had one like this last Thursday through Saturday. That was kind of rough. I just woke up and I was fucked up. And, you know, there's not, like, a whole lot I can do for that. And that's the, scary thing. Like, I just get really bad. And, like, I, you know, try to ask people for help and all that. And it's a little rough. But, yeah. I mean, I went a few weeks without one of those. And I thought we were finally figured that part out, but I guess I still am having these dips, so it might be logical to up the ketamine too. But the ketamine isn't helping like the day-to-day depression, the fatigue, the sleep problems. Oh my god, the fucking sleep problems are still horrible. I think I'm going back down into my 5-ish hours. I had like a good week there where I was actually getting like 7. And, like, for me, that's a miracle. Like, if I'm averaging 7 over the course of a week. I am preferable to 8, but I also know, like, it's always a short, like, I don't know. I think the longest string of getting consistently, like, 7 to 7.5 hours of sleep a week, or sleep a night, average was... I want to say like when I first started this job, not like first, but like almost 2 months, I had a pretty decent string. Now, that was some nights I was sleeping like 6 hours, and other nights I was playing catch up, sleeping like 9 to 10 hours. But that's what I'm saying, like if my average is still in the area, because you can catch up on sleep like short term, but long term you don't really catch up on sleep. Like the idea, your body will only catch up for like things within the last few days, whatever that. There's actually like science behind that. There was a study done like, I don't know how long ago that was. I'm fucking rambling. Anyway, yeah, so my sleep's been all jacked. The fatigue is a constant problem with the depression. Like, that's one of those ones that's just gotten worse as I've gotten older, and I don't really know how to help that, but it's very, just fatigue in general makes me feel more depressed, because I feel like, oh, I can't get shit done. I can't take care of the things I need to take care of. And, like, I still have a lot of anxiety, and I know Zoloft kind of helped my anxiety before, and I'm kind of hoping, because ketamine doesn't do anything for anxiety at all. Not a goddamn freaky fraggin' thing. So, that's something too. I feel like I was gonna need to add something on anyway, because my anxiety can be very paralyzing, and I don't like that. And, what other, all the usual, you know, depression symptoms are still there. It's just, the only thing the ketamine's really done is kept me, well, not even, because I still had one of these switch, I just call it the switch flip, like, literally just severe suicidal, like, can't do anything, can't stop crying, just the misery. So that's all I feel like the ketamine's kind of doing, is some stabilizing, which I think, yeah, I probably need to bump that up just a wee bit, just another 10. So right now, the bioavailability is at 15, so that would put bioavailability at 18, from 50 to 60. Which, you know, those are small numbers, but like, when it comes to something like that, it does seem to matter, because I take it every other day too, so that's, I don't know, I'm rambling about that, but yeah. I mean, I think ketamine can be a good option for some people, and some people really respond to lower doses, and it's apparently can help the depression in like even people who are bipolar, like with some mood stabilization. So there's something there, but I definitely do not think it helps anxiety at all. Like, Yeah. I would say that I think it's good to have options available to people. And if you can find a doctor who will off-label prescribe it, you can get it pretty cheap at a compounding pharmacy. I only pay $40 a month for mine. But this is the other part too. Like, I don't think it's a good idea if you're someone who's prone to addiction. Like, it's not, even though it's not, it's a substance that can be addictive, but I would say compared to other substances like the Xanax and stuff, it is a lower abuse thing. But I think anyone who has that potential for addiction or that gene for addiction should just stay away from things like that. Just because I know it can trigger that urge to binge into the drug. Like, yeah. See, I don't have that gene, so, like, I'm fine. I can just take my thing every other day, and it's Gucci. Everything's cool. But I definitely have friends that are like, well, they got excited about that nose spray, which is like a cousin of ketamine, S-ketamine, that spray. But, like, people don't realize you have to, like, get it administered in a doctor's office, which, honestly, to me, that seems a little, silly, but okay. Like, I understand having to put some control on the substance, but you can get ketamine. You can get it prescribed. Like, I have it prescribed. It's in my fucking house right now. It comes in a little tablet. I stick it under my tongue, like... But people just don't know this. They don't know you can get these things prescribed. Now, good luck. I mean, I think some people could more easily find a clinic that does the infusions versus finding a doctor who will prescribe it for treatment-resistant depression. I just happened to end up with a doctor who did all the studies, did a bunch of those ketamine studies, and the S-ketamine, he was one of the offices that did those, and, oh god, my work's calling. Oh, that was interesting. That was a call from my work. And, oh, you know, the old guy picks up the phone, he's just like, you answered the phone weird. He's like, but I know you live a double life, and I'm like, okay, is it because of this? My hair? He likes to give me so much shit because, okay, like, for those of you who have not been watching me, I have to wear a wig to work. So, like, this has become the joke because everybody knows the secret. But, like, yeah. Apparently I live a double life. But, like, okay. Just because I work as a security officer who is definitely not a secure person or, like, secure in their mental health or anything, I'm living a double life. You know it. What is life? I don't know. But, yeah, there you go. I just thought that was humorous. Anyway, where the fuck was I? Oh yeah, ketamine. Nah. I just happened to end up with a doctor who's doing studies, blah 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 blah. I started seeing my doctor in 2009. Yeah, 2009. So, like, I've been seeing him for a while. He's known my history. And he has it in a fucking big ass file. I think my file is about this thick. It's got a lot of pages, a lot of notes. So, like, and he did the studies, and, like, he was like, he suggested this, like, last year, in the beginning of last year, of it being a possibility. Now, it took us a while to get here, but hey, my doctor has that option available to people that he's had a history with, and he knows they don't have an addiction history, because that's part of his thing. Like, he's not, if he thinks you have any history of addiction, he's not going to prescribe you ketamine. That's just his. He barely wants to give people Xanax or Klonopin. Like, he's very much, or even Adderall. Like, any of that stuff, anything that's controlled, he's very much, now there's gonna be people who'll be pissed off at him, like, because even addicts will have that, well, I need this. No, honey, you don't. But, it's a weighty subject, but I would get frustrated with him because I didn't necessarily like being treated like I was seeking. So that was, I would get frustrated. Eventually I had to sit there and tell him, like, I had brought up the possibility of me having ADD, like, a while ago. And he was like, no, I don't think so. I think you're just concentration issues with depression. Like, it just got swept away. I was just kind of like, the fuck, dude? Like, so the next time I brought it up, I was like, I really think I have some ADD. I said, I am not trying to get Adderall, though. And then he was like, yeah, probably, maybe, you might. It's like, is this because I said I'm not looking for Adderall? I don't want Adderall because my anxiety is so bad, and like any upper like makes me like that, and fucks with my anxiety really bad. But at the time we did try, he had like a sample of Stratera, and we tried that, but like it fucked with my sleep so bad. Like, I was fine, like the first week it was gravy. As soon as I went up the thingy on that, I would sleep for 4 hours and I would just wake up. But I wasn't awake. I was like, I'd get up and I'd be so fucking exhausted and tired, but like I could not fall back asleep. It would piss me off so bad. And like the first week I was on it, I was like, oh, I'm not that hungry. This is great because I struggle with binge eating and just like overeating in general. And then the next week I could not fucking eat enough food. Like, no matter what I did, I was like, this is problematic. You're fucking with my sleep and you're making me overeat when I'm somebody who already struggles with overeating. So like after 2 weeks of being on it, I was like, yeah, I cannot do this medicine. Like, we're not going up another dose because I need my sleep. I was like 4 hours of sleep a night and I was like already like wanting to pull my hair out. Like, I get really unstable really quickly from the lack of sleep. Like, and all the times when I like either was just absolutely not on meds or like having issues with meds, the only thing I could ever really try to do outside of like my therapy and all that is like just try to get enough sleep. Whatever my body is trying to do to me to keep me from sleeping, just try your fucking damnedest to get sleep. And it is fucking hard when you have insomnia. Now my insomnia is nowhere near as bad as some of my friends, but like, oh my fucking god. Sometimes it is bad. For me, my insomnia is more the actual like getting to sleep is the hard part. I'll wake up a few times, usually, but a lot of that's my bladder. My bladder is horrible. But the problem is if I get up, it is very hard for me sometimes to fall back asleep. I don't necessarily have the type of insomnia where I go to sleep and then wake up 2 hours later and can't sleep. For me, it would be like I go to sleep, wake up to use the restroom like 3 or 4 hours later, takes me 15 minutes to fall back asleep. Then I'd get up again maybe like 3 hours later, so I'd be like right in the 5.5, 6 hour area-ish, maybe some change higher on the 6. And then when I wake up the other time, I may not be able to fall back asleep. Even though I'm still tired. I'll still be super tired. And I don't think I get very good REM sleep. Like, I wish I could do like a sleep study or something. Or like have someone like be able to keep track of what my actual REM sleep is, because I think there's something jacked up there too. Because my sleep does not feel very restful a lot of nights. And I'm always curious about like what's going on in that regard. And, you know, I had got this fucking Fitbit a few years ago to be like, let's keep track of my fucking sleep cycles. It has never worked. And now I think about it, I'm pretty sure this might have been a refurb. But I didn't think about it till like months after I bought it. Months after the fucking return thing, like, I tried everything to make this thing work right, and it's busted. This thing, even the heart rate monitor doesn't really work very well now. The fucking pedometer's never worked right on this. Like, the only thing this fucking thing is good for at this point is, like, a fucking watch. But see, I always hated returning shit, so I was just like, well, maybe this is just how these watches are. They're finicky. But, like, I've known people who had these that actually worked right. So, like, I should have returned it, but I would just, meh. That's another thing with my anxiety and, like, taking care of stuff, returning stuff, that sort of thing. I just get overwhelmed, and I'm just like, oh, I can't do that. Yeah, so, I have this fucking Fitbit. I wear it all the time because, like, sometimes it works okay. And I use the app more than anything. I use the app to keep track of my calories. And I use the app to at least keep track of when I fall asleep and when I wake up. So that's more why I actually wear the damn thing. Sometimes the pedometer works, most time not. Sometimes it actually can sense when I'm going up and down the stairs. Most time it doesn't, and I take stairs every day because I live on the second floor of my apartment. So yeah, the thing's a piece of shit. And like, my temptation to get another one in the future, if I get another one, I'm going to buy it from the site, and I'm not going to buy it from a seller, secondhand seller, who either got returned models or refurbished, because I want something that actually works. I feel like anything I've ever gotten that was refurb, outside of one fucking thing, which is my MP3 player, which I still have, it still works. Even though there's a couple things that don't work on it now, just because I bought it back in 2007. It was like a 2004, 2005 model, but it still fucking works. My old Arcos MP3 player, that was a refurb that actually worked, and has been a bad motherfucker that still works. But literally everything else I own that is refurbished is garbage. My fucking Canon DSLR, the fucking focus does not work on it. Like, it is so shitty and finicky, and it moves on its own. And like, I've gotten good pictures with it, but like, the focus is just so terrible on it. And at first, like, I didn't realize it was a refurb. I got it and I was using it. I was like, why am I having such a hard time with the focus? Like, this is, and I would manually focus the damn thing because the autofocus definitely never worked right. Even when I manually focused, there was just something wrong with it. And like, sometimes I would look on the screen and the pictures would look fantastic, and then when I put them on my computer, they would just be ever so slightly out of focus. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this camera? I've never had this much problem taking pictures before. Like, I know how to take a good picture. The fucking thing was a refurb, and I didn't figure it out till it was too late to fucking return it. So yeah, that was great. And then I got a speaker that was refurbished, and the fucking Bluetooth doesn't work on it, so I can only use it on an auxiliary cord, which is fine. The battery works great in it. It's like one of these ones that you charge and it has like a 50 some odd battery, 50 something odd battery, and it's waterproof and stuff. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I do wish the Bluetooth worked on it right. But like, that thing was heavy as fuck and I wasn't gonna return it. I have it still. It works just fine outside of the Bluetooth. Yeah. See, this just became me ranting about refurb items. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop with the rambling. Subscribe if you want. I post random shit, motherfucker.